welcome back to the channel, Farm with Nick. Thanks so much for joining me here again on Wisconsin. And I am kind of trying to finish up a few things here and there in the month of September here before I really kind of push into October. And I thought I'd bring you along, kind of show you what I've been up to here. I actually, kind of like surprising myself, got a little bit of time to actually play on this map off camera again, so I was able to get a whole nother wagon full of corn. Alright, let's just unload this into the bags. And let me jump into the build just so you can see. So here is where I'm at with this cornfield, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna go into October. There's no way I'm gonna get it all done here in the month of September, but I've really made some good progress, I think. It is slowly but surely kind of, you know, gonna make it, but I have some other field work to do here, and you can also see in that top right, I do have a plowing contract, and that's kind of really, let me turn off the, I'll leave it on for now, I guess. I was going to turn off my help menu on the top left. Been playing pretty good without it, so yeah, let's turn it off. And help window. Wish there was a toggle for that. I feel like there should be. Like just a hotkey that I could press. Turn that on and off. Let me know. Is there something for that? I would love that because I hate having to go back into the menu every time, so probably doing it wrong. Alright, so here you can see I have more of these rows taken away here. I've been kind of doing like a loop. That way I can do more straight ahead here and not kind of cutting on that diagonal. So for the most part, I've been able to kind of finesse and grab 2 rows, but if you do it correctly, you can grab 3. But, you know, the game actually will give you 3 rows here. Alright, so what I've been doing here is just have enough room before kind of going in the ditch here. And then I come back and then just do another straightaway pass. So I've been doing that to kind of give myself a little more space instead of just doing circles here the whole time. Not that map. But yeah, we're making good progress on here. And I've been putting all this into the ag bags. I have not put any, into the harvest store yet, so maybe I'll do one more load and then go to the harvest store, maybe, or in this episode, maybe I'll just keep it into the bags, and then I'll put it into the harvest store in October. It's probably do that. But this is a very, large field for, this 2-row header. Not that in real life you couldn't do it. Just for me, even in the game, it's taken a little bit of time here, so. But I'm enjoying it. This is like a, couple month project here to get this corn off the field. And I'm okay with that. I've been having fun with it, so. Alright, let me get one more pass. Take you out to that contract. Now I've been doing pretty good on that. That's kind of what I spent most of my time on. I have purchased another piece of equipment as well. You can see my money is down a little bit, but I really wanted to get into another contract here before October, just to kind of give myself a little bit of wiggle room before winter hits here on the farm. So yeah, instead of like doing this, I've been, doing those straight passes, which, it gives it to you like this. I just don't like cutting for harvesting here on the diagonal of the rows. Even though it does work, I like doing those straightaway passes, you know. And then I was kind of like going around here, getting a row. So I was also doing it like this. But yeah, not my favorite to do it that way. And then those tight turns, it doesn't really work as well. Yeah, you probably have seen enough of this footage already. Or like move on to the next task. Alright, I'm just gonna pause as we get up to the start here again. I thought I wanted to see I sold some of the silage out of here. What that would give me. So I guess we could do that after we show you where that contract is in field 6, which is actually, it's over by here. It's over by the store in town here. So it's an 8-acre field. Contract was pretty good though. It was 16,000, I believe. So I'll take that. That's good money, especially where I'm at here financially. And I still haven't paid a dime of my loan back. So not doing great there. But I feel like I need a little bit of money actually coming in. Like I didn't put in any like solar things or, you know, rental properties. I didn't do any of that. Alright. And I'm just going to set this up. So let's go over, I'll show you where that plowing contract is that I've been working on mainly. And then we can get back. I got to line that other grass field still. I want to show you, oh yeah, show you my new manure spreader as well. It's pretty slick. I think the trigger for this is like here. It is. I remember it. So the unload is over where the harvester is, and then the load is right here. Wow, that's a slow load. Now if I leave this, I don't think it'll load. I don't think it'll load on its own once I hop out of the tractor. Alright, we're at 38%. Will it continue? It did. Okay, I take that back. Alright, so here's where I'm at. And I've gotten quite a bit of this field done. It has taken a while. But I was pretty proud of myself. And just playing off camera. But I'll show you where I took this contract. So here on Wisconsin, you have the other two main farms down there. You have your co-op, your store, and then I took the contract for field 6 here. And it's a simple plowing contract, nothing too spectacular, nothing crazy or special. But the money was good for 8 acres. And trying to bring some extra finances to the farm. It was one that I was like, oh, it's not too bad. Though there was another plowing contract that was a lot more. And I wasn't going to go after that just for the simple fact it was at least double the acreage. I mean, there's some big fields in Wisconsin here if you're playing on this as well. Yeah, I kind of wanted to limit myself. Now, this is not my equipment, as you can see. This is not a plow I would normally play with either. I feel like this kind of brings me back to like FS19, playing on it with this kind of a plow setup. Before I really knew and kind of got into, you know, even downloading a mod, even knowing what that was on console when I started playing. I feel like I played on 19 for a long time, and I was like, oh, it is really fun. Like, what else is there? And then I discovered that you could get mods on it. But for the longest time, I was just playing on base game stuff, like this equipment. All right, doing pretty good here. But yeah, you kind of get the idea here. Nothing too fancy. Just plowing. But I love how that Seagull mod works anytime you're in the field doing the stuff. That's really slick. I wish I was better at like first person. I can't watch it that way though, because then look at, I start to veer off my line. And yeah, I'm not playing with the GPS on, I'm just kind of driving. So, alright, so you get the idea there. Nothing spectacular, but yeah, it should give me some good money. And especially going into October, with a little more in the checkbook or the bank account. Use our credit card with, right? Okay, let's get back to the farm here. But before I do, I want to give a quick little plug. And if you're watching a lot of the shorts, which honestly, I've been getting a lot of views, which has been wonderful. But I wanted to give a little plug and thank you to those people that have been on my Farming with Nick store recently. And you've been on the Spreadshot store that I have. So it has a bunch of different shirts, different logos from the channel. And I wanted to thank you for spending your hard-earned money and supporting the channel. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, to start each video, it should pop up on your screen like a little Spreadshot, or on the bottom of the comments and stuff you'll see some apparel for the channel. But yeah, there's a bunch of different things on there. Sweatshirts, t-shirts are the main one that I've seen getting purchased now. But there's also, like, you know, little things, coffee mugs, different bags, kind of things that I put on there, keychains, stickers, just, you know, little things that would have like the YouTube logo for my channel on it, or some of the other like cattle pictures with the American flag that I use on my channel. So yeah, feel free to check it out. And just wanted to give a quick thank you again to those of you that have purchased from the store recently. That is so cool. So if I ever see you out and about with merchandise on, I'll be sure to say hello and introduce myself. Alright, and even just talking there, I am almost at 90%. That is so good. I'm doing really good on there. Okay, so let's sell. I'll go back. That was my manure spreader that I just purchased. But yeah, let's sell this silage. Now, I looked it up before I started recording, that I could sell silage bales, and it says, well, it's the bale sell point for the animal dealer. Alright, how's the tractor? Tires are pretty good. I was just wondering if I have to drive through those fun farm puddles or not. Yeah, but let's take this out there. And this is the only spot that I can actually sell silage. But at least it's close to the house, close to the farm. Yeah, nice view there of the farm in the background. Nice warm fall day here. And then I'll show you the manure spreader. I kind of worked on where the triggers are. At first I had to like put them back on and go, all right, where do I go to get the manure? Because I want to actually, you know, besides liming that grass field, I want to get some more fertilizer out there. It's not fertilized right now. And I'm pretty sure probably take 2 applications of fertilizer here. Alright, now the one time I came and just tried it, I tried it with a real bale. I just drove up to the stack over there to the far side. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, unless it doesn't, I don't know, let's see. Will it take loose silage? It's like right around here. Oh, it gave me the trigger. Oh, there we go. We are making money. Alright, what are we going to get to here with a full wagon? Hey, this could actually pay for another wagon. And then I can attach them together. And then get a little more out of this trip. What are we going to get to here? Wow, this is actually more than I thought. Great! $4,200. I'll take that. Now, is that a lot? Absolutely not. But, you know, for what it is and where I'm at financially, look, I only got $25,000. This is probably the lowest amount of money I've ever had playing a series on Farm Sim. If you've ever watched any of my series, I have a lot more than this in the bank. And then typically, you know, financially, I'm never like struggling. But yeah, to be in debt already right away, and then to be up to $25,000, I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. So that's where the extra contract of plowing will really come in handy. Yeah, let's just cut through this field, my grass field up here. Just cut through there, and then let's hop in with a little bit of field work and manure out of our pens. Now, there's not much manure in the pens, but it's enough to actually, you know, get it into the wagon and go forward with that. Alright, so where is it? We're just gonna hop. I won't do it with the Parker wagon. So with the Parker wagon, I don't know if you've noticed sometimes if you do like silly stuff with it or jumps with the Parker wagon, with that mod, it'll kind of like mess up the front tires. And then the only way to like fix it is to like reset it. Okay, so my harvester is over there. Alright. So here is my new spreader. So this is a mod that I got. I wanted something A, cheap, and B, I wanted something that would fit like this size of a farm. I didn't want anything like massively big. I drive through those puddles, of course, every time you go by it. You have to. Alright, so the trigger for this barn is right in here. So it did take me a little bit to figure that one out. So we gotta drive right in. There we go. So it's giving me, there it is. You can see it taking it away from the ground. It's pretty nice. Nice animation. Alright, and we're just going to open up this door. I'm just going to drive through. And yes, if you're wondering, at first I forgot that those doors opened. So, like the silly person I am, I tried to get the trigger by super strengthening the spreader over the grate here in the fence. So yeah, that was funny to see. But that was off camera. Did not intend that. Alright, so the trigger for the other pen, you're gonna love this. It's back here. So oops. There we go. It's like, there it is, you see it? It went. There's not much in there. Now I'm stuck. Of course I am. Okay, so let me just show you really fast. But yeah, so there's like this, you know, gravel. I think that's gravel. Yeah. But the trigger for the manure is like right in there. It's like right in here, and even if you put the trigger on, so if you're playing on this map, you have to, I mean, you could drive, like this gate opens here, and then you can drive around and back it up into there, and obviously this is a small door, but I'm just letting you know that, yeah, it's like right there, but if you pack it over this gravel pit, or I'm assuming you could just flatten this out. I have not done it yet, obviously. You could probably just flatten that area out, then you could just back up. It might be a nice little parking pad, actually. You could pretend that you were spreading that gravel out to make a nice little pad. That would work. But let's loop this way. So yeah, those are the triggers for those two barns. I have not figured out the other two barns, as I do not have cattle in them yet, but I will soon enough. Right, so let's start up high here. Spread this manure here. And then I'll get to line spreader, do a little bit for you guys, and then I'll probably jump back. I'll probably save, I'm going to save some of that corn that's back there. I'm going to save that corn a little bit probably off camera, and then definitely finishing that up next month here in October. Yeah, I like this little manure spreader. I think this fits. There were other ones, but I thought they were all too big for this playthrough series, and you know, for looking pretty good with this tractor, I wanted something the right size. The other one that I saw was like the small John Deere one, but I wanted something a little more substantial. So yeah, this works. Some cool texture here on the vehicle, like that sludge slash, like, you can see like some of it's like white, probably from the line. Let's do a full pass here, or at least I know I like doing the perimeter. Looping back and forth, or I could, I think you could put the GPS on, if I'm not mistaken. That would actually be a little easier to tell where you're at. Yeah, with that 16,000, if I want to use it on equipment or even these two small fields over here are not much. I think this first one is like 8,000, so that's pretty good. Very reasonable. And then I could even harvest that here for winter. Animations here. Perfect. Here we go. All set. Alright, now I'll have to find a spot to part this and do that a little bit later. I don't know. Maybe it'll go in the white barn. Oops. Just passed my spreader there. So I did start liming a little bit of this field. I think if I zoom out, there it is. So then you can really see kind of like, you know, where I paused. But otherwise it's, yeah, super hard to tell where I was at and where I have to go still. Yeah, this is a fun little job. I like this. Yeah, it's just quick. That's the only bad thing about having such a small little spreader on this tractor, but it's a lot of back and forth. So yeah, you kind of get the idea here. Alright, and I'm just gonna leave that. See, I have some of my bags, so I just kind of left them right here. Kind of like this little spot here. This is next to like the other decorations. So I kind of like this little corner spot to place stuff. I thought that was kind of handy. Alright, so let's hook this back up and get out to the plow and probably call it good there. So some really good progress, I think. Slowly but surely. And with that contract coming in, I think that'll be ready to push us into next month. And honestly, I am already kind of thinking of purchasing more cattle as well to try and up our production once I get to that point. This is where I'm not great on Farm Sim. I was close. One more try. Oops, wrong way. I'm just terrible at backing up. Yeah, this is not working. I'm like close, but not close enough. It's just whatever. You didn't see anything there. Alright, so I have grass planted in here. That should hopefully start, you know, coming up, getting to the next stage here. I'm just gonna set this back in the field. And then get back out to the plow and we're good here. I'll just finish this up and call it a day. So thank you so much for joining me here on this episode here on Wisconsin Dairy. If you're new to the channel, I'd love to have you tag along, join the Farming with Nick community, join and let me know what you think about this playthrough series, and let me know what you think about some of the other farm builds here on FS25 as I'm, you know, trying to get some new content. So I always appreciate the feedback. I love the interactions with everyone. It's been great, and honestly, it's a real big reason why I keep playing and sharing my content and sharing my playthrough, my style. And I know it's not everyone's style, but I mean, that's why there's so many great YouTubers out there that you can kind of tune into and watch. So I'll let you guys go there, and I hope to see everyone on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.